waiting for someone to join me. I'm waiting for someone, and I'm gonna turn off my fan. I'm gonna wave at the person that I'm waiting for. Hey, I want her to join me. Come on over here, please. Yeah, there she is. Come on over here, please, and talk to me. Hey, I see you. Let me see if this invitation worked. Tell me if this invitation worked. Yeah, tell me if this invitation worked. Did it work? Can you please accept my request to talk to you? Hey!
Hi. Hi.
How are ya?
How are ya?
I'm great.
Good.
Oh, God. My coffee kicked in, so I feel wild.
Oh, excellent. My water's kicking in.
Your water's kicking in?
Actually,
I also have a big jug of water.
oh, nice. You know what I had this morning?
Tell me.
A CBD iced coffee.
How did that go?
You know what? I felt really good. I was like, this feels, I don't know what I'm on right now, but definitely has a little something in it. And it was nice. It was really nice.
I love that. I've never had a CBD coffee before. I've had like CBD things, but not coffee.
Well, I guess it's a thing that they like squirt into the coffee is what it really is. So yeah, it's like, take that coffee.
Thanks for the sound effect.
I am wearing clothes, by the way. My hair is a little, I didn't have time. So I ran to Five Guys just now to get my kids dinner.
Dinner from Five Guys.
Yep.
You look beautiful. You look vivacious and gorgeous.
So oh, good. Thanks.
You look stunning. Hi. How was your week? How
It
are
was-
you?
It was fabulous. It was really a good week. Every week is good. I'm alive. You know?
I feel like that's like the theme.
My standards are low.
For 2021. Just like, I'm alive.
I made it. Hooray.
Yeah, yes. So we're alive. We're great. Yeah. Tell me, how was like teaching this week? And tell me, like, what was a win that you had with a student?
A win with a student. Oh, goodness.
Jeez.
I think one of my students, he seemed to like, he was able to just, he kind of, what did he do? That was a win. I can't articulate it, but I think it's about articulation. It's that he like started to lose some articulation in some of his phrasing of like pop contemporary music. And it sounded a bazillion times better. I was like, dude, like that's like transformative. Just that alone is like makes such a big deal. It makes such a big difference, doesn't it?
Oh my gosh, yeah. It's always like so interesting how diction in contemporary singing especially is such a game changer.
Yeah. And people don't always know that when they go into it, like beginner singers. They often really articulate every single word. And it's like, listen to music. They don't really articulate that much. I mean, my mother and many people in my life could never understand lyrics. And I never really got that because I always listened to lyrics. So like that was my focus all the time.
I was like, where is this going?
How can you not understand lyrics? Right. My mother, let me bring my mother into the conversation. My mother
I was like, is your mom a pop star?
She what?
I was like, is your mom a pop star? Where are we going?
No, she's not a pop star. She probably would have liked to have been at some point, but
love it.
No,
is your mom a musical? Are you like, do you come from a musical
family? Do we have to
family?
start talking about my mother right off the bat? Why did I bring her into this? What's wrong
You
with
brought
me?
her up.
Psychological. I know. Jeez. Freudian. My mother. She's been tuning my guitar from the audience my whole life.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yes, and I don't want to tell that story because I tell it all the time.
Oh, don't tell me the story, but do tell me. Do you come from like a musical family?
So my parents were both very musical, yes, and my mom did. She always played guitar and you know, sang like folk songs. Like she liked Joan Baez and Annie Oakley kind of stuff. And, you know, Bob Dylan. She like was from that kind of folksy 60s era. And so she played guitar and kind of like showed me the ropes of like harmony singing and playing guitar in the beginning. Yeah. So I'd say I got some influence from her. My father also, he played the piano. So I did a lot of singing as a kid, like at home. I was always encouraged to, you know, perform, you know, which I didn't love necessarily, but I guess I did love it when I was really little. I liked it.
Okay.
So yeah, like my parents were very musical and they encouraged my music, my musicality, I think. Yeah. 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 And then when I got older and I was, you know, playing on stage, like in my band and stuff, like there were a couple times when I would be tuning, because like tuning a guitar on stage can be like kind of a shit show. Like just like, oh no, I'm so very off and I can't get it right because I'm nervous and I'm, you know, trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
And she would be like, sharper, honey, sharper. No, you're flat. Like, like from the audience. But it was okay. It wasn't like, it was kind of just like, okay. Like it was cute. It was endearing, I hope, you know, made me like, you know, I was like, I never took myself too seriously, I don't think, but yeah, so that was that. And so, yeah, I guess back to like the diction and stuff. And then another thing that a student did that I want to say was just, I've been talking a lot about placement, you know, like how that makes such a huge difference. Just darkening vowels, you know, giving yourself a richer tone. And everybody is capable of this, but people just don't, you know, it's so attainable to just change the shape of your mouth, you know, the inside of your mouth. And just people don't know that can be done really. And then when you point it out, it's like, oh, wow, transformed, you know, transform the sound and the tone, like completely different. And
I totally agree with you.
Sometimes that, you know, that happened and then they come to the next lesson and I'm like, you sound so different. Oh, it's because this week you were practicing like not articulating every word, you know, and darkening the vowels much better. Yeah. So that's
I love
always
that.
fascinating. Yeah.
Those are very fun wins.
Yeah.
Wins for me this week.
Yeah. Not so easy when you're on the spot, is it?
It's not easy. I mean, I'm gonna look at my calendar right now. I will say lately, every day I've been waking up at like 5 in the morning. Like my body's just like, hey, and I'm like, I don't want to be awake right now. I don't know why. Let me think. A win for me this week. Oh, okay. One of my wins this week is I have a student of mine who we have also been talking about placement. And more importantly, our conversations about like vocal fold closure and then feeling the sensations with like when you're changing registers, like singing in your chest voice versus singing in your head voice, like it clicked. And she sang me a song and I was just like, oh, you're amazing. Yes. And that's how I felt. Like, I was just like, who are you? Like, who just came here? Like, what is this?
Yeah.
So that's like my favorite win. Like one of my favorite things is just when the pieces come together for students and you're like, fuck, we did that together. That wasn't like, we did that. It's my favorite.
Yeah.
That happened this week.
Nice. Yeah. I love the, just getting personal with somebody and like helping them, you know, just get into like what's going on, like what are you doing, how can I like analyze what you're doing. Like I listen to people very technically, you know, or I'm trying to do that, you know, and I am doing that. Like I don't judge the voice. Like I feel like the voice is so malleable. There's so much, you know, I mean there's 100%, like you can learn to do these things. Like you can literally learn, you know, how fast you do it is up to you really, how often you practice and how much effort you put into it, and also just how much, you know, psychologically, like how much can you give up of yourself, like how real can you be, how you know, free can you be and not try to control everything, because like your body really, like, you know, when you're singing low and you're in your chest voice versus when you're singing high and you go into your head voice, like that difference, and seeing people make that distinction is really like another, like what you said, like I have a student this week also who I was like talking about that to a lot, and I saw from, you know, minute 10 of our lesson to minute 60 of our lesson, I was like, you just changed like a whole color of your voice, like so much just by singing in the, you know, in your chest voice versus your head voice.
Oh yeah.
In the appropriate places.
In the appropriate places.
In the
Yeah.
appropriate places.
My question too is like, so like, what is your like favorite like vocal coordination in your own music and your own singing? What do you often, what's your go-to sound?
Oh, I always go to head voice. I like going like,
oh yeah,
I like going up there all the time. Yeah, I like walk around the house all day just doing that because it's so not like, that's not where I'm comfortable. Like I like singing more chesty, you know. I grew up singing more like rock and indie rock and blues kind of stuff, you know, so that head voice stuff is really hard for me. It's not hard anymore, but like it's definitely like it's fun. It feels so good.
It totally feels great.
So,
and I agree with you. Like as a contemporary singer, learning to sing classical music, it's like, it's hard. It is very, very strange and very, very foreign and very interesting.
Yeah.
But what have you, other than like head voicey stuff, like what have you been singing in your own practice for you? And
oh yeah. So this quarantine was like, I tried to make a mission of playing the piano and singing and singing songs on the piano because I'm a guitar player and singer and I'm very comfortable doing that. So like, and I always played piano. I mean, I grew up playing piano, but never singing and like writing in a cohesive way. Like I could never kind of like put together what I was writing and write a song. And I still haven't quite gotten there yet where I can like on a guitar, it's really easy to be like, you know, G to A to, you know, F minor, whatever like the chord progression is. Like I know what it is, but whereas on piano, it's a little bit like, it's just harder for me to like remember what I'm doing or something, you know? And especially then when I throw singing in with it, it's really never been comfortable for me. So what I started singing this quarantine was like, I was singing a couple jazz songs, these Foolish Things. Do you know that song?
I love that song.
I love that song. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if I do it justice in the jazzy way, but I kind of do it. I don't know who I grew up hearing do it. I don't really remember if it was like maybe Ella Fitzgerald or. Yeah.
Well, why do you say you don't feel like you're doing it justice? That's silly pants.
Yeah, I think I'm doing like a more bluesy style probably than jazzy. You know what I mean? I'm probably doing just like a kind of a mix. And then the other thing that I've really been having fun with vocally actually is the Kate Bush song called Heathcliff.
Oh my God. What are you doing? Okay.
Oh, I'm so cold. It's like kind of like this compressed falsetto, like upper chest contemporary, but like really compressed and like just crazy sounding and feeling.
I love her voice. It's like, it's very weird.
Oh my God, her voice is insane. And like I'm doing that, and that going there was like, what? Like that doesn't seem humanly possible, you know? But I've been playing that a lot on piano because it's just, again, it's just so fun. And you cannot be shy when you sing it that way. Like you got to be loud and you're like, you're breathing and it's like, it's intense.
I love how you have these like totally different things that you've been working on. It's just like, wow.
From what?
It's like, it's so different. You've got like a very like laid back, like jazzy, bluesy standard. And then you're just like, and by the way, intense 80s Kate Bush.
Totally. Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing with me is that I feel like I just pull a lot of different styles in because I'm always interpreting stuff, but I don't do exactly what the original is ever. Like, and I never have. It's like I'll listen to a song like 4 times, then I'll be like, got it, and then I'll just like go and just make it my own version. And then like I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what style this is. It's cat style.
It's cat style.
Yeah.
So question, which artists have heavily influenced your voice? Because I know you said like you sing predominantly like more like an indie, like rock kind of sound. So like what artists have influenced you?
Great question. Well, I guess. Well, I don't know. I don't know anything. No, I can tell you the answer to that question. No, honestly, I'll tell you what, like when PJ Harvey first came on the scene, I was like, this is like my spirit sister.
Really?
Yeah, like her thing that she was doing that like, I don't even know what it was, kind of like a weird, screechy, sort of punky, you know, artsy music. Like that I was into. Like I liked what she did. So I don't know if I think that she influenced me in a way a lot, just giving me permission to do what I did and be like, oh, I'm not so crazy to be like playing stuff that's a little bit dark, a little bit edgy, you know, and doesn't use, you know, I wasn't trained to sing at a young age, even though I always sang. Like that was, you know, I didn't get into like real life. Like this is what I always try to impart on young students is that if you feel the pull to sing, like do it. Like don't listen to and judge your voice because you don't know what you sound like. You know, you don't know how cool your voice is because you're listening to it and thinking that it's supposed to be something else, you know? And it's like, no, like your voice is yours, own it, and like go live that dream. Because even if you don't like, you know, and certainly I hesitate to, you know, suggest that people should go and try and like be like a famous musician because that life could be very hard and isolating and not very great, I would imagine. But like, make music, like be a musician for your life. Like that's a lifelong hobby and journey, and it never goes away, and it keeps you company in times of loneliness and sadness. And it's like, it's just such a great thing to like channel energy through, like songwriting or singing, or, you know, like being able to accompany yourself is really important, I think. So the point is that you know, being untrained, like I didn't know that I could sing. Like I loved Ella Fitzgerald growing up. Like I like thought she had the most, and I still do. I mean, she's got the most incredible voice ever. Like I want to sing like her, you know. And I always just thought like I can't sing like her, and I certainly don't have her instrument. But a lot of the things that she does, I could learn to do, you know.
Yeah.
So that's what I didn't really realize that was, you know, attainable, I guess, until I was a little older and started, you know, I took some lessons in my 20s and then I took some lessons when I was older, but, you know, it was just something that I kind of had to like figure out myself through my own, you know, devotion to music making, you know, beyond all odds. I was just like, I don't care. I don't, you know, like, I'm going to just do this, even if I fall on my face, which I did a couple of times, you know.
I think we all do. Everyone falls on their face.
It's like, it's like, how like masochistic do you have to be like willing to get up there and like potentially fall on your face over and over again? That's the passion of music, right? That's like the passion of it, though. It feels so good to like be that vulnerable and to have that much power. You know,
I like the way that you point that out, though. It's like it's this weird, you don't expect it to be that way, what you said, which is like having so much vulnerability and also having power at the same time. I think like all art forms in general are very strange in that way. And I like what you said about like, it's a lifelong journey. It's not this like, you don't just stop being a musician. It's always there with you. It's part of who you are sometimes, I guess, if you want it to be. But I think it's really beautiful.
Yeah, thanks. You know, I'm a good pep talker. Like, you know, just because I really believe it. Like, I really believe that like music is so powerful. First of all, like I always tell students the same thing. Like, we listen to so many musicians because like some other influence. Like, I love the Grateful Dead. Like, I love Joni Mitchell. I love like I was like a hippie. I like the Doors, Led Zeppelin, like that kind of stuff. And then female vocalists, like I love Kate Bush, I love Bjork, I love Aurora, she's amazing.
Aurora's fantastic, she's
so good. And Mitski, have you listened to Mitski?
I love Mitski, she's great.
I love Mitski, she is incredible.
Fantastic. Wait, are these the people that you're listening to right now? Like, what are you listening to at the moment? What are like the last like 3 things that you listen to?
I always listen to Father John Misty. I love him.
So much.
I do. I love his way of word. He's just such a wordsmith, and like his clever, like, you know, pontifications are just amazing to me. I love it. So I listen to him. I probably was listening to I've been waking up to like Crosby, Stills and Nash. I don't know. I always go back to like Neil Young and Crosby, Stills and Nash. In terms of new singers, I don't know. Who's new?
It doesn't have to be new. It's just whatever you're listening to.
Like, I've been listening to those guys. I always like to listen to, like, I like Big Thief a lot. I like that song.
Big Thief, yeah.
Adrienne Linker. I think we've talked about her before. I think she's got such a beautiful voice.
I think it's a unique voice, and it's very beautiful. And I think like that's the thing that I feel like people, I don't know. I think beauty is such a subjective thing, but then a lot of people are just like, you're just trying to have like a very technically beautiful instrument. And I feel like the people that we resonate with most are organic and real and storytellers. And I feel like Adrienne Linker from Big Thief, like she's a storyteller, an amazing writer. She's got a stunning voice. It's just like, it's not like, you know,
right,
Mariah Carey. It's not like Whitney Houston. It's just a different thing within itself, which is so cool.
Yeah, and I love impressive voices. Like I was listening to Beyonce the other day. Like she's just amazing, you know, and like I mean, technically incredible voices like Sarah Vaughan. I mean, there are so many, and I love that. But I also really have always really loved singers who just like, I love the cleverness of like I love the Shins. I think that their like songwriting is really clever. Like just, it's really smart. Like I like smart, witty stuff when it comes to the songs that I like. And then when it comes to the singer, I really do love, like, I love weird voices. Like I love Patti Smith. She's like a huge, like, I always loved Patti Smith's voice.
Who's Patti Smith?
She's like a poet from the 70s. You would probably know her. She's got like wild gray hair. She wears like a men's jacket on stage. She still plays, and she's like in her 70s.
Love it.
And she's got like a gritty, dirty voice, and she spits off the stage and stuff. And she's just, you know, she's more of a poet, but she's a songwriter. Like she wrote Because the Night Belongs to Lovers.
Really?
I think. Listen, I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure she wrote that with her husband. And then I think Bruce Springsteen made it famous. There's some song that she wrote that I think Bruce Springsteen made famous, and I think it was that one. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with that. I'm pretty sure that she wrote that.
What's the song called? Because the Night.
Because the Night. Yeah. Okay. And then, yeah, who else? I was listening to Alison Krauss. She's got a gorgeous voice.
Okay. It's written by Bruce and Patti together.
Okay, there we go. Good. Yes, together.
Together they wrote that. Yeah, you got it. Oh my gosh. I've never heard of her before. This is fun. I can't wait to check her out.
She's amazing, and I'll tell you a little story about her. I went to see her at the Short Hills Mall, which is the last place you would ever imagine you'd find Patti Smith, because she's so New York, like she's so like East Village, gritty, grungy. And I saw her speak because I think she had put out a book. She's written a couple books now about like life in the city with like Robert Mapplethorpe. She like dated him. He's an artist, a photographer, you know, just like her life in New York back in the 70s and stuff. And I went to a reading with her, and she had like 2 questions left, and I had been waiting. I wanted to ask her a question about being a mother, which I am, and being a musician. Like, how do you balance motherhood and being a musician? Like, how much time to give to your art versus how much to give to your kids? Like, how do you balance that? And I thought it was a really great question. Nobody had brought it up yet. And it's in retrospect, I'm like, it's a dumb question, because she's such an artist that it's like her kids are almost like, you know, of course she's going to be an artist. Like, she's an artist to the, you know, she would put in, you know what I mean? It's just so important. It's just like whatever. But anyway, when I finally got the mic, she was like, oh, what? Okay. I'm so sorry. I don't have any more questions. I can't take any more questions. I have to go. And I was like, oh, Patti, just one quick question. It's a really good question. And I was like almost crying. And she thought that she was talking to another woman, I guess. Like, this other woman originally had the mic, but then I got it from her. And so she was speaking to the other woman. And I was like, oh, wait, no, the question's for me. And Patti looks at me and she's like, oh, just ask the fucking question. Oh my God. And I'm like, I'm so honored that Patti Smith used a profanity when speaking to me. You know, like, that doesn't happen every day. You're my idol. Thank you for using a curse word when you spoke to me.
Oh my God. Wait, so what did she respond to your question?
I don't remember. That's not the point of the story.
Obviously that's the perfect ending for this. Yes, obviously.
Oh no, you know what? It it was during a time when there was like a lot of stuff going on the border, and like kids were being like separated from their mothers, and Trump was in office, and there was a lot of like crap. So I think that she segued it into like sort of like my life is awesome. And when, you know, when you compare my life to the lives of like what's happening like at the border right now with mothers being separated from their children, like I have no, you know, she just kind of like segued it out of like being about her and more about being like about a political thing. She's sort of a political, but outspoken sort of thing.
That's
so
interesting.
I do, what?
That's interesting. That's an interesting way to avoid answering that question. Or not, or just bringing light to something.
Yeah, she did. Exactly. She brought like, right. She just pointed out that like, you know, that you make it work. I guess the point was like, you make it work. You know, it's like,
yeah,
you got your kids with you. You've got your guitar. You've got your brain. You can write a song. You can sing a song. You don't have to be, you know, Michelangelo here. Like, just like, we're good. We live in like a good, nice society. We're not like afraid of our children being ripped from our arms, you know?
That's true. Yeah.
So I think that was like sort of the message. That was what I took away from it. So it was good. So that was the Patti Smith story.
I like that story.
What other story do you want to hear about?
Well, I was going to ask you, because you mentioned before that like one of your COVID goals was to learn how to accompany yourself, like to play and sing on the piano. So like, what were you as an artist, because you were a songwriter, how were you creating during COVID? Like, how were you staying sane? Like, for me personally, I wasn't productive. I was ugly crying.
Yeah.
And that's all.
I totally picture that. No, I'm just kidding.
Literally, that's literally what I was doing. So I'm always very curious to see how other artists were functioning during such a crazy time.
Yeah, it was not good. I think that it's just like almost like time like took a back seat, didn't it? It just like, it felt like it was the longest and yet the shortest like year and couple months, March. It was literally Friday the 13th when like they called and were like, your children will not be attending school today or ever, it appeared. Like, it was like the most surreal moment of my life. And I'm like, this is the worst Friday the 13th I've ever had, you know? So crazy. So yeah, I didn't write a ton. Like initially I was very inspired and I wrote a COVID song, and I wrote another COVID song. I wrote a COVID song. I put it on Facebook, and you know, that was like pretty much my performance for COVID. And then I did one performance sort of like with my band, but like separate but together, you know, we each like sang our own parts. And because I have a co-band leader in my band, Rebecca, so we each like sang our songs that we wrote and sang lead on.
Yeah.
And that was really great. But like I looking back, I'm like, I could have done so much more. And then it was like I just didn't do much. Like I taught voice, I like played on the piano a little bit, I tinkered around, but I didn't write that much. I think I wrote a few songs. I wrote two other songs. So I wrote 3 songs. That's not a lot, you know, not that prolific. But I
don't know. I find it like, I definitely feel like I beat myself up a lot for not being more productive, like having all this time and being like, I need to make something out of something so ugly. But at the same time, it's like, how could you possibly thrive in that kind of environment?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's terrifying. Like, we all thought we were going to die.
Yeah, exactly. It was heavy and sad, and yeah, it was not good. And also I have kids, and they were home, and they were doing home, you know, home, quote unquote, because I don't think they really learned them. I don't know. I think they've regressed a little bit. But anyway, you know, it's like I had to pay attention to that. It's just like there was not, and I was tired, and I was just like, get me out of this day. I just didn't feel like the vibe of like, you know.
Yeah.
So, but that was okay. I mean, I'm excited now. I'm getting back, you know, we're getting back into business. We've got some shows this summer, and
where are you guys gigging? Are you guys are gigging again, and you're writing more stuff, I'm assuming?
Yeah. I mean, the writing, we have, yes, I'm going to write a song. You're inspiring me. I should be writing more.
I'm
You know,
totally
I'm
up to you.
older. Like it doesn't come as easily when I'm older for some reason. That's one of the challenges. Like,
Do you feel that way? That it doesn't come as naturally to you?
yeah, I don't know. It's not great. I need to figure that out. It's hard to put the time into it. It's like I don't have it's like putting the time into that like as a craft used to be like something I was like, yes, I want to do this, you know, like I have so much to say. But now it's like, I don't know, I just don't really, I guess I'm just like, I don't really have that much to say. I'll let the younger generation say what needs to be said. I'm good.
What?
Like,
are you kidding me? You've got a ton of things to say. Come on.
I know, but this is what it's like. It's like this is what the struggle is real to like get out, you know, because like looking back, I'm like, oh, I have so many great songs and I do. Like I've written a lot of really good songs, but it's always like in the moment you don't realize, you know, how important it is and how you just got to get out of the way and realize like what your strengths are. Like I was talking to somebody today who, like when I lived in Brooklyn, I had a bunch of, you know, a crew of musicians and we all like sat around and playing together. And like one of them who's like the most amazing songwriter with the most gorgeous voice, this guy. And I was talking to a friend of ours today who I haven't spoken to in a very long time. And he was like, he's just like not really writing anymore. And I'm like, and he's like, and it's just like such a shame because like he's so damn talented, you know? And it's like, you just want to like shake people and be like, just do it, you know, like stop overthinking it. Like just write a damn song. Like it's so easy, you know, once I get going, I'm like, blah, 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 and it's just like comes out and happens and it works. But at the time it's just, you know, hard to do it, but I do it. I'll do it. And so, yeah, we have shows coming up. Like we're playing in South Orange, Floods Hill. They do these like Wednesday night kind of like events. There's a big stage set up and we'll do like a couple sets there. We're doing like a show that we have done before at this like really nice house and we sell tickets and there's like wine there. It's lovely. It's kind of like a little mini concert. And hopefully I'll play at Rockwood in the city. We played there once before. I've played there many times in the past, but then I played there once with my band Marry the Sea. Right at the beginning of COVID, like 2 weeks before, like a month before COVID, we had a show there. And then we were like, I was in conversation to set up another show there and we were going to play there like a week after COVID struck. And then it was like closed down. And like Rockwood is like such a fun place to play. And I just love that venue. So I am sure we'll probably hopefully get another show there soon. Yeah. What else would you like to know? How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm trying to think of other things to ask you. You tell me so much.
I know, I'm
storyteller. You don't babble. You're a great storyteller. And then you always find your way back. And you're like, and this is the original thing. And I'm like, yes, it is.
My brain is not so bad.
She's amazing. Come on.
Got a good brain.
Listen, someone just commented Gen Z baby rules not that long ago, and we're not starting a generational war.
Ryan DeBari, what's up?
Yeah, it's fine. It's okay. It's generations are chill. No one cares.
Oats, man. Yeah. I mean, I have kids. Like, I have these little buggers. What generation? These little buggers. What generation are the 11 and 9-year-olds going to be?
I don't know.
Are they generation like A 2.0 or something?
This turns back at the beginning of the outfit. I follow you. I see what you're doing.
Oh God.
I don't know. But we'll find out. We'll see what their contributions to the world are. I guess. It's gonna be great. Well, thank you for talking to me, and I'm excited for you. You're gonna be gigging and doing stuff and writing and flourishing and living your best life.
Yeah, and I hope that you are as well, and I hope that for all of our listeners that everybody is flourishing and doing their, you know, the one thing that COVID has taught us all probably is that like we got this one life, guys. Let's make the most of it. You know, be you, be true to yourself.
Oh my gosh, Kat, you're really good at this. You're like a really good pep talker. Oh my God.
I know.
I'm just like, you're right. I do only have one life.
You
I must be true to me.
Yes, Emily, do it. Because you rock. Because you're amazing. And you, by the way, I just want to say, first of all, when is your conversation? Like, when are you going to be the star of the conversation?
I don't know. Probably never.
You have to do that.
Interview me. It'll be great. They're very quiet right now for some reason, but no, we also have to do Brian and we have to do Tim as well. So that'll be very fun and silly. But
well, the reason I asked is because I just wanted to say that you are like amazing.
Oh, thank you.
And you've helped me so much. I know you've guided. You know what you look like when you do that. You look just like Maya Rudolph. Do you realize that you're doing that? Do you realize that you're doing Maya Rudolph?
I am.
Whose mother is an amazing singer from the 70s.
Oh my God.
Yeah, she's incredible. She does the whistle tone. That's the whistle tone. She's like one of the few whistle tone singers.
I had no idea that she could do whistle tone, but it does make me feel good that I can make a Maya Rudolph face.
You make a great Maya Rudolph face.
Thank you.
But what I want to say is that like you are so wonderful. Like you've taught me so much about teaching and like having done the Tim Welsh method, like getting different people's perspectives, because like I want all of our listeners to know, like there's a lot of methods, of how to sing. I mean, there's so many, like you can go on YouTube and see like a million different things. And it's good to stay in like on a path, you know what I mean? To kind of have one path. And this is the path, people. This is the path. This is the right path. And Emily, you've just like clarified so much for me because the voice is so nuanced and there's so many things I mean, it's like the number of variables. And sometimes when I'm talking to students, I'm like, okay, slow down, lady, pull it back because like people don't understand like what all is going on.
There's a lot going on. And it's really, really wild because like the body it does things without us even thinking about it. And if we actually had to think about it, we probably wouldn't be able to sing or speak.
Yeah. Oh, completely.
So that's like the most amazing and inspiring thing. But listen, babe, I tell you this all the time. And I tell this to everybody. This is a two-way street. Okay?
Yeah.
It's a teamwork.
Yeah. Teamwork.
Working together. It's teamwork. It's working together. And we're just always so happy. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud that you're part of our community. You're part of our TWVS teaching family.
Me too. I'm honored to be. Thank you for having me. Thank you for teaching me and guiding me. Thank you, Mama Grasshopper.
Okay. No. All right. I'm going to wrap up this conversation.
Okay, lady.
With your angel.
This has been so fun.
Oh, likewise. I enjoy you. Thank you.
I enjoy you.
Well, thank you, everyone, for joining us. This is Kat. She's a fantastic teacher. We adore her. We love her. If you ever want to write some songs or sing beautifully, take a lesson with Kat.
Come to me.
Right. I'm going to close this. Goodbye.
Okay, baby. Bye. Bye.